Hi and welcome to setting up the budget model for use with BudgetLink video. Okay, we're starting off in BudgetLink, and I've just connected to MyOb to make sure that all of the chart of accounts and jobs have been updated in BudgetLink. Once that connection's been finished and you get your complete, just close the window and go into budget entry. Into P&L budget entry, and then just change the year to the relevant year that you'll be budgeting for. In this case, it'll be 2013. Just hit refresh. Okay, so your template will probably be blank at this stage. If you hit create template here, ensure that this publish down the page is not selected and that P&L budget entry up here is. Just click OK. What you can do here to select your jobs is you can either go through individually and tick these boxes or hit select all detail. I'm going to do that, but then I'm also going to deselect no job. Hit OK. Now what BudgetLink will do is create a separate template for your budget entry. It'll appear as a separate book external to the BudgetLink application, so you'll be able to edit it. This can take a few moments, and it will be longer if the more jobs that you have. Okay, and it lets you know when it's done. This is now called Book 2. You know it's an external file. Just save it as to wherever is relevant. Okay, and then just close the other BudgetLink files. This will help your computer to run a little bit quicker. Okay, so all you should have open now is that template that was just created. Now what you'll need to do is open the shell model that again is saved on the server in Financial Management Services Budget Model Development, and it's called Budget Model Shell for use with BudgetLink. If we open up that shell, always click Don't Update, and what you can see in here is there are other sheets already existing in that shell model. Just make sure you save as the shell model before you do anything with it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just group those old sheets that will no longer be of use and just delete them. Obviously to group again, just select the first sheet, go to the end, hold shift down and select the last sheet. Okay, and we've just deleted all of them in there. Now what I'm going to do is take the template that we got from BudgetLink, again just group your sheets, select the first one, go to the end, hold shift down, select the last, right click and select move or copy. We're going to create a copy and move it to the new budget model. Just put it before the salary sheet, click OK. Okay, and that's copied all those sheets over. We can now shut the other one down just so we're not confused. And we don't need to save that. First thing I do is just check the positioning of your sheets. So you want to make sure that the start sheet is just before your first job sheet and that the end sheet is obviously after your last job sheet, which it isn't. So just drag and drop it in the right spot there. It should just be before that salary sheet. You can then re-hide those sheets. The start and end sheets, just like in the standard budget model, are important for calculating this consolidated page. Okay, the next thing that you're going to want to update is this jobs list. So luckily I've got one I prepared before. But obviously you can just get it from the same place in MyOb or wherever you've got it saved. Just make sure I've got enough lines there. I think I'm going to need to insert a few. Just try and insert your rows if you do need to insert new ones in the middle of the page. That way we'll make sure that we don't affect any named ranges. Okay, I'm just going to paste the values in there. A few too many. So I'll just delete those extra lines that I've got in there. Okay, you want to leave this last row for jobs list just as in the other one. And if these formulas haven't updated, just copy them and paste them down to the bottom. And just save it. Now what you might want to do, depending on the speed of your processor, is turn your calculations to manual instead of automatic. It just means that you won't immediately see the result of any calculations, but they will recalculate on a save. Okay. What you will want to do is, if you are using the salaries and the salary allocations page, is just as with the other budget model, just take this formula to copy into the salaries row. Just copy it, group all your budget sheets again. Find your salaries account and just copy that formula in there. What I also do is just make that white so that we know that we can't. So that we know we can't enter any data into there that's formula driven. Again, with your superannuation, if you did want to make that formula driven as well, just point it to the cell above. And we're going to use the variables page. We've already got a superannuation rate in there. Just hit F4 and make that an absolute reference. It puts these dollar signs in it. Then Excel knows that no matter where you copy that formula to, it'll keep referencing to that same cell on the variables page. Just do the same thing again. And there we go. And then you can just click on any other tab just to make sure those sheets aren't grouped anymore. Just hit save. Okay. Now what you will have to do is set up the consolidated page and also the summary page. So I might just hide these two for now. Oh, hang on. Before I do, let's rename this. Rename the client name, and the financial year is fine. Let's just keep it as that. Obviously, if your financial year is 2013 to 14 or what have you, just change it there. BudgetLink will automatically update your months up the top here, but just keep an eye on that in case it is a calendar year that the client uses. Just going to hide both of those sheets. So your consolidated page won't reflect the new chart of accounts structure until you paste all of this column down to the bottom over into your consolidated page. Just make sure there's no hidden rows in there, as there is, and that you're all the way down to the bottom there. And you can see that looks like it's just come down to there. So the rest of this we don't need, we're just going to delete. So just check that it's the right line again, 274. 274. You'll also want to just paste your formatting from here over to your consolidated page. And that'll make sure that you get all those total rows and anything else in the right format. Which I haven't done. Try again. Okay, that looks fine. I'm just going to delete this line here. And all your formulas should already be in there and updated. If you like, you can just delete them from this area so that you don't get those dashes or the zeros appear. Now I can see here in this sheet that there's been a couple of spots where some formulas haven't been carried down. I'm just going to copy and paste the formula from a row above up here down to here. Just make sure all those formulas have been updated. Okay, I can also see that there's a formatting issue there. I'm just going to quickly paste over it. And again, just copy this down to this area below. Okay, now all your formulas should be fine. Now, BudgetLink, when it creates a template for you, will automatically hide rows. You can see that there's rows hidden in here that are blank. But when you copy everything across, those rows won't be hidden. We'll leave that until the end, but you'll have to manually hide those rows. Sorry. Okay. Now the easiest thing to do here is just copy the same ones over to the summary page again. I'm just going to make sure everything's unhidden. Okay. Don't worry about those formulas right now. Okay. And just making sure we're down to the right row there. I can see on both of these consolidated and summary pages, because we've deleted that row in there, I'm just going to have to insert one to make sure that they're down to the right row here at the bottom and everything's totaling correctly. Okay. So we'll just check again. Okay, down to row 274, we know that's correct. And just delete any superfluous rows at the end there. Again, just check your formatting. What I'm going to do is just copy that formatting over from the consolidated page again. That's probably the quickest way. I won't get that last row there because it's blank. And there we go. Again, if you like, you can just delete those formulas in there that don't need to be there. Okay. And again, we'll just make sure that all your rows have a formula in them there. They all look okay. Okay. And once our summary page has been set up there, and all of your formulas are okay, I've just done a quick cursory check down. Okay, great. If you do have a problem with the formulas in your summary page, if you do unhide this section up above here, not sure why that came up, just rehide it, that bit. There is a formula to copy just in this cell here if you do need to copy it down. So this is be the one to copy all through here if you do need to. Okay, so I can see that there's a problem looking at these, that one doesn't match up there. So I'm just going to copy all of these down again from the top, and that's why, because we've got a reference error in that cell. So I'm just going to copy this. Oh. Should be referencing B48, so the same line as that line in here. Okay, and that should have fixed that up. Again, just going to delete the formula from in here. And I'll probably just save it at this point as well. Okay. Okay, and now what we're going to do is set up the summary page, and all this will do is set up these columns for your jobs that are listed in your jobs list sheet. So to do this, just go up here to macros, view macros, and it's called setup summary. So if we click run there, okay, that was a good example of when macros don't work. If you do have a problem with running the macro, again, macros just automate things that can be done manually. So all I'm going to do is in this drop down in C41, should read straight from your jobs page. I'm just going to change these manually. If you need more columns, just copy them across. And that should be it. Just save. Okay. Okay, and if the sheet's not showing you, if it's showing you those NA errors, just hit F9 to recalculate, and it should be fine. We'll just rehide that bit at the top just to clean it up a little bit. And now all that's really left to do is to hide any blank rows. So to do this, it should be the same blank rows on either on both the summary and the consolidated page. I'm just going to group them together and hide any rows that that aren't being used. I'll just hide that jobs list page as well. Okay. Now your budget model is pretty much ready to use. Again, the salaries and staff allocation page work in the exact same way as the regular budget model. We'll just check that they're flowing through there, right? So if we hit F9 again, make sure everything's calculating through the summary page. That's pulling through from salaries page, just coming through these cost center pages and into there, and also through the consolidated page. So you obviously just want to make sure that everything's working as it should be. I can see a total here. Just hide that. I can see these totals here in the summary page, but this total column is obviously not picking up something, right? And that's because it looks like we're referencing this column B here in the consolidated page, whereas we should be referencing column O. That's an easy one to fix. And we'll just copy it all the way down. Again, just paste formulas there so you don't lose your formatting. I'm just going to quickly delete any blanks. And if I hit F9 again, that's pulling through okay now. So your budget model's ready to go.